Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is Streamophile. I'm Ben. That's John. Today we're gonna be talking about Prey on Hulu. But first, John, what happens? The intro.
I,
Beep.
Welcome to Streamophile, the show where John and Ben watch the latest on all streaming platforms and let you know whether to stream it or skip it. We stream everything, so you don't have to.
But
yeah.
Prey on Hulu. John, as always, tell us a synopsis, the cast. I always like to throw it to you because, first of all, I'm gonna be honest. You're a way better reader than I am. Just gonna
Yeah.
be 100% honest. Right? I'm
Not that last
sometimes on that
episode.
fifth grade. Yeah, sometimes I'm that fifth grade kid in class that can't say the. You know what I mean? Like, so I like to toss it to you to do the live read and break down the synopsis and the cast. Good luck with
All
this one, brother.
right.
Good
I'm going to
luck.
have a tough time with this cast, but let's get into the synopsis for Prey, currently streaming on Hulu. A skilled Comanche warrior protects her tribe from a highly evolved alien predator that hunts humans for sport, fighting against wilderness, dangerous colonizers, and this mysterious creature to keep her people safe. All right. So that's a quick and dirty synopsis. Now let's get into this cast.
Yeah, this is where it
Um,
gets. This is where it gets
You know
dicey
what? It's not
right
that
here.
difficult. So the main characters are Naru and Saba, brother and sister. And Saba, he is known as he's the best hunter in the tribe. And Naru, who is played by Amber Mid Thunder, that wasn't that difficult. Um, is trying to prove herself. Her brother is Saba is played by Dakota Beavers. The Predator, in case you didn't know, this is part of the Predator series. I think it's the fifth movie on the franchise. It's played
Hmm.
by Dane DeLiegro. Doesn't matter. You never see
Okay.
his face.
Nope.
And some
He
of
could be on the
the
show. We wouldn't know. Yeah.
could be the rest of the folks on the cast: Stephanie Matthias, Michelle Thrush, Julian Black Antelope, who plays Chief Kehetu. Bennett Taylor plays Raphael Adolini. He's one of the interpreters they run into later on in the movie.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Harlan Blaine plays Itzy. Stormy Kip plays Wasape. Troy
One of
Mundell,
natives in the Comanche
one of the
tribe.
natives who who goes out hunting. He's part of that hunting party that goes out with her brother. These guys. Okay, so Troy Mundell plays Spyglass. These are the different we'll say colonizers, trappers, French trappers that
Mm-hmm.
they run into. I mean, this movie is based in the it is supposed to be in the Great Northern
Six.
Plains.
Yes.
All right, so
In the
you're gonna run into
1600s, right?
in the
So,
1719, I believe. So in the early
okay.
1700s. And so that's the backdrop. This is supposed to be what 300 almost years, 200 years, 270 years before the first Predator, which
Mm-hmm.
dropped in 1987. So this is the prequel to all those other Predator movies. So that's a quick and dirty. I don't think I butchered any of those names. I'm gonna give
I think you
myself a
did
pat
really
on the
well.
back.
Yeah. Shout out to the fact that we're matching on this podcast, though. Shout out to Black and White. Let's just take a second and acknowledge that.
It like MJ said, it don't matter if we're black or white.
That's right. That's right, man. He did say that. He
Stewie,
did also said a lot of other things. Yo,
he
man.
also did.
So I watched this movie last week. Rewatched it over the weekend
Hmm.
because I knew we were gonna do the pod. So I wanted. I always like to just watch it and then like watch it like an in a analytical lens. Shout out to Lens.
What a lens!
Um, what a
It's the
lens.
first time you've ever analyzed anything.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. And I didn't. I don't like take. Sometimes I like taking notes, but like it also makes the watching experience a lot longer. So I just
Yeah,
like try to like experience it still. Um, I
I was.
enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the movie. Look, well, you said it last time, right? We're gonna start it right off the top. You gave the synopsis. I'll give you my verdict on what
Okay.
this was a weird one. This was an in between for me. It was a stream slash skip for me for two reasons.
No,
Right?
you
Like
can't do that.
I can't. Why not? It's fine. It's our podcast. We literally make up the rules as we go. What are you talking about?
You got to give
Or has it been
one of the three.
damn, I'm torn, bro. I'm really like 50-50 on this one. Not because I'll give I'll give you my reasoning, right? And then you could, and John, or you know what I mean, if you guys are listening, tell me what you think. Like, this was a really entertaining movie. I enjoyed watching it. But as soon as it was over, didn't care. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was easily forgettable for me. Like, but I don't know why that was. I don't know. Like, maybe the first time I watched it, I was maybe distracted, so I watched it again. But like, I didn't, I didn't, I didn't have the like need to want to watch it again. I knew I
Okay.
did. I knew I did. Like, the action was amazing. You know what I mean? We'll touch on it. The action was amazing. The fight scenes were great. I was invested in some of the characters, even the ones that like they briefly show, like the hunting party. You know what I mean? Like, you're rooting for these guys, but you can see how, I mean, unquestionably unmatched they are. But after it happened, I was just like, okay. Like when the big when the big loss happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying not to say it. Like, right,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? I didn't feel it. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh man, that's okay. Now I know this is gonna happen. But like, it was just like, okay, yeah, obviously that was gonna happen. You know what I mean? But like, then what? It was that kind of thing where like, because this is so many installments of the Predator movies, like I was just like, I was like watered down for me, which sucks because I love the way it was shot. I love the scenery and all that stuff. But like, after it, I was like, eh. So I guess I am. That's why I'm telling. But like, I thought it was a really well done movie, but I didn't take anything from it. If that makes sense.
Wow, you said so much to say
I said
so
nothing, right?
little. You gave no
Yeah,
answer.
100%.
Okay.
None,
So
none.
what is
I
it
went.
on you? Based on your opinion, is it a stream it, a skip it, or a wild wild west it?
You're right.
The
It's not a
premise of the
wild
show is
wild
very
west.
simple.
Yeah, it's right. We do have a premise. We do have a plan. Uh, Terrible job of selling it with everything I just said. Was saying 45 seconds of absolutely nothing. I'm gonna go stream it. Purely on the
This
action and the
guy.
scenery. Like, I don't listen, man. I don't want to like look. We were talking off pod. Like, it's hard to criticize the art, right? But again, like, it's a good movie to watch if you have nothing else to do. Like, if you're like, I haven't seen that yet, hit play. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those, like, that's why I'll say stream it. But if you don't watch it, I understand. Like, it's like, oh, I don't know anything because you people are like you, like, oh, I haven't seen the other Predators. I don't know if I'm gonna understand this. That doesn't matter. You don't need to see the other Predators to understand this. I like how the Predator was done. I like the way he kills a bunch of people. Spoiler alert, that's what he does. He's a predator. You know what I mean? He kills everybody.
I don't think it's a
Um,
spoiler alert.
but it was, yeah, spoiler alert. That's, I don't know if you've ever seen a predator. He's a predator. But yeah, it was, you know, ugh. So
Yeah, the big
like
twist.
I
He
said, I
comes down
told you,
here to cuddle with people.
yeah, exactly. Big Twisty comes down with like, hey guys, here's food. No, that's not what he's doing.
So I will. I'll tell you my reasoning. I kind of stopped listening to you because you said a whole bunch of nothing. I think you said stream it. So I I'm gonna go with stream it, and I'll tell you why. Saw. I have seen the Predator movies. I've seen two of them. Maybe the only two that count. One and two. The one with Arnold and the one with I think Donald Glover in like in '90. And I saw those movies probably in the mid '90s. I was too young. I was like 4 when the first Predator came out, but mid to late
Real
'90s I
quick,
saw those
it's
Predator
not
movies.
Donald Glover, not Donald Glover, right? You
No,
said Donald
they,
Glover.
no. Oh, did I say Donald?
Yeah, not Red
Not
Bone
Donald.
Donald,
No, no,
not
you're right. He was. I
not
don't think he was
Atlanta.
born yet. No,
No,
he
no, he
wasn't
wasn't.
born yet.
Not Atlanta
Danny
Donald
Glover.
Glover. That's
Danny
Danny
Glover.
Glover. Yeah, no relation,
Danny
I think.
Glover.
No relation.
Danny Glover, who was already about 75 by that time, making movies with Mel Gibson. But anyway, I saw those. I haven't seen any other ones. I may have, but I've seen bits and pieces. But it's been too long. It's been over 20 years since I've seen those movies. So, sticking to the theme of, the lens that we're watching these movies through, I
The
was watching
lens,
this movie
the
as
lens, baby.
a fresh
Yeah,
watch, as a virgin to the Predator franchise because it's
don't
been
say
so
virgin.
long since I've seen the other
It's
ones.
weird.
and I liked it. Everything that you said, the cinematography, the way it was shot, where it was shot, the fact that they used uh, qu- a lot of the cast, most of the cast was native, so they tried to
Yes.
stay true to to what they were trying to represent, the people they were trying to represent, and yeah, stream it. I don't. We were talking before the show about another movie I saw, and
Yep.
I was kind of giving the same explanation you just gave. I said a whole bunch of nothing when you asked me what do I
Hoping to
think
know.
about it. I was
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
circumstantial, I guess. If there's nothing else to do, watch it. If you can go out in the sun and shoot some hoops, go shoot some hoops. But
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to talk bad about the art and what they put out there. Right. I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes page for Prey, and it's got a 93 tomato meter. That's what the critics
Yep.
will give it, and a 72% audience score. So, to me, I already told you what I think of critics, right? I feel like they people that failed out of film school could make it in the acting business, and so their
Yep.
next best thing is to cut down artists, directors, and really the way that they talk about art as if they are this holier than thou, make it, they're gonna make or break your project, and so that's not what we do. We try to
Nope.
keep it lighthearted, but I thought this movie was a stream it for sure. It was not fast paced, but it had those moments. It's a Predator, so there are going to be action sequences, and then it'll slow down in between, and then there will be more action sequences. Like, it was a good mixture of both,
Yep.
trying to develop the character, and of course, um, the lead role, who the character is Naru. She's this young Comanche woman who wants to be a hunter, who is a hunter and a tracker and very skilled. But of course, that's not her
Yes.
role. Her role is to go gather fruit or flowers or whatever it is that the role of a woman in that tribe, is supposed to be. And so she's
Yeah.
sort of trying to prove herself. And I like that evolution of her character from, her trying to prove herself and working through her own, I don't know,
Fear.
lack of confidence and fear.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
yeah, I thought it was really well told, really well shot, and unlike you, I'm sure that this is a stream it.
You know what? Like, this is why I appreciate that we have we wait to have our conversations on the show, and not like have them pre like, oh, you're gonna say this, well then I'm gonna say this, and then you say this and I'll say this. I like the evolution of the character. That's why the only reason why I was torn. What
Those
does
are
that
my
say?
notes. I put Prey 2022, and then I was like,
That's
like you did earlier. I'm not taking notes. I'm just going to.
just gonna watch it. Like,
Mhm.
hey, the thing, like the evolution of the character, like in the subtleness of, I don't know, her. I guess I could say this one part of the movie, right? Like where she has the axe or the tomahawk, right? Like,
Mhm.
and she ties a rope to it. She's like, I need to be, because like she's realizing like I'm not gonna be as strong or as fast as the men. You know what I mean?
Right.
The male hunters in my tribe. So I need to find different little tricks to do it. And so the wits that she has is really well done, and it doesn't just, I like that it doesn't just happen, that she works at it and she struggles, right? Like she
Mhm.
has to overcome. And I appreciated that. And like I thought it was a really well done movie. Like the CGI for the animals, I were really what was really well done. The
I
fight
thought so
scenes with
too.
the fight scenes with the predator was really well done. Like again, like for me, it was like I didn't have any like lasting memory of it after I watched it. You get what I'm saying? Like I really did enjoy the movie. I thought it was a really well done movie with something else, like when they shoot back to the tribe and show the mother, and there's like somehow they like this, you know what I mean? Like, and then she's just crying because she's trying to figure out where her kids are, because they wandered
Right.
off for like they could wander off for days and you don't know where they are. It's not like you could shoot them a
Mhm.
text or find my phone in the 1700s. You know what
In
I mean?
1719, I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. So like that part was really well done about it, and the cinematography. Like I'm just like, again, like it goes back to like the 50-50. I'm really more 60-40 with the stream it, right? But it just, I don't know. Like I wanted to. I guess I don't. I wanted to feel more than I did, but I didn't. You get what I'm saying? Like when like that turn happens, like I wanted to like root more, but I was just like watching the movie. But again, it might come
Mm,
down to the fact that like we're watching everything. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like I'm comparing it to so many other things. Where like I
could
could
be.
think of a scene from a different show. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, this is so much better than anything this movie's doing. But like I have to try to like in the future be more mindful of just watching that movie for what it is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I was a lot more invested in in her character, I guess, than you were.
Right.
So, like I told you, I liked seeing Naru's evolution, and those things that you mentioned, that she had to tie a rope to the axe, to the tomahawk, because she had to adjust. She didn't have the raw strength or speed that her brother had,
Hmm.
who is this great hunter of the tribe. But
Yep.
those things that she did go are in line with what her brother said, which is, you know she always sees things from a different angle. She always sees things that he doesn't see. She's more analytical than he is, and
Yep.
that's what leads you to, as the movie goes on, because just like every predator movie, this turns into the prey becomes the predator, right? The predator is
Yep.
hunting you, but they all come down to
At some
humans.
point it turns. Yeah.
It turns, and so
Hmm.
you see that she starts to use her that side of her seeing things differently, her being more analytical, and how to trap this thing and attempt to kill it. So I really do like that journey. I was more invested in that character than I think you were, and
Yeah.
I try not to, what you said, not to do that. Try to like act when I'm actively watching the movie, not to compare it to something similar. I want to be in
Hmm.
like that moment so that
Yep.
I can actually enjoy it. It's on Hulu, or or whatever it is that we're watching, whether it's on Hulu or Peacock or Netflix. I'm If something's happening, I'm gonna pause it because I don't want to miss anything.
Yep.
There might be a scene, there might be something that's said, and so if someone's talking to me, I'll just put the movie on pause, rewind, rewatch it, so that I can actually be in that moment. So I mean, I really liked it, and maybe it's because I was a fan of the Predator movies, even though I haven't seen the newer ones. Like, nostalgic about the older '80s, '90s ones, and I was curious because this is the prequel to those movies. This
Yep.
is the beginning. This is how it all started, and interesting because obviously there were more Predator movies after this, so there are more
Yep.
predators amongst us, right? But um, yeah, I thought it was a really well told story.
Yeah. I agree. Like I liked the dynamic of the brother and sister. I
Hmm.
like the banter of the tribe to Naru. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot of again. Like I think I made the mistake on this one of being like comparing. You know what I mean? Like being just thinking about it
Hmm.
like, oh, because I just finished watching this and I'm watching this. Like I almost had to like I learned that for future shows and future reviews. Like maybe I should cleanse my palate. You know what I mean? Like watch something that has nothing to do with anything else for like a couple hours and like and
Hmm.
then watch it and then be completely locked into it because like it was a really well done movie. And I liked that it was graphic. You know what I mean? This is not a movie that you watch with young
Very
children.
much, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this is not a movie that you watch with somebody who thinks that violence is real and could because that shit like there's some violent shit that happens in this movie. So
Hmm.
you got to be mindful of that. Like this is a predator. You know what I mean? Like there's no off screen blood splatter. Like you're watching straight up gore in a lot of
Yeah,
ways.
sure.
So be ready for that. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that they did it that way. They didn't try to pacify that and make it like an
Yeah.
off-screen splatter where it's just like Naru gets blood splattered on her when something happens. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? When something happens in front of her, when she eventually does come, you know what I mean? Like does come to face, like she's like, there's something going on here, and dude, like it's yeah, like it. I like the baby steps that it takes to show what's gonna, you know what I mean? Like the growth of both, because it
Yeah.
like while Naru's growing, like Predator is probably like a 15-year-old kid. You know what I mean? Learning how to be a predator. Like we don't know. Like
Right.
there's no he. It's not like he can talk. So I'm
I
just
mean,
assuming he's like, yo man.
that's what it could be, right? Hey, we dropped you off in this planet, just like I forget what they call the hunt that she has to go through, or every hunter has to go through
Oh
to
yes,
become a
Sid.
hunter. That the katake, I can't remember. It's not described anywhere in this, in Wikipedia or anything. But
Okay.
it's your first hunt where
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, you become a man or you become a real hunter, and so
Yep.
that could be the predator. That could be their version. They're sent to Earth to hunt these different predators on the planet. But I like that
Yep.
comparison. While she's out hunting, the predator is doing the same thing.
Yep.
It's like snakes and bears and whatever's out there,
Well,
right?
yeah. Wolves. Yeah.
Yeah, wolves. Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever's out in the Great Plains. Like you could imagine, 300 years ago, there was a lot more wildlife, and it was less populated with humans. So I like that dynamic where they show both.
I like that they like I like the colonizer aspect of that too, right? Like where
Yeah.
you first see like a trap, right? Like a bear trap, and you're
Hmm.
like, who would have like you're literally watching that. I remember thinking, I was like, who would have said that? You know what I mean? Like, and you're thinking like, oh, it looks old and rusted. Like, oh, it could have been left by previous people. Like, so you're not you know what I'm saying? Like, so you're not
You're not
thinking that,
thinking,
and then you're not thinking, and then you're like, oh, okay, yeah,
of
it
course,
makes
it's
sense. I mean,
1719. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like what? Come on, history. Come on, like you should have known this. So like
Hmm.
that part was cool. Like where they introduced that aspect of it, where it made
Yeah.
sense. You know what I mean? It was yeah. I think I talked myself into a stream it just because like I'm like now re reviewing the movie and replaying it in my head. It was a lot better
Hmm.
movie than I gave it credit for initially at the beginning of this pod. It was really
By the
well
way,
done.
her
It
brother's
was a
name
really well done
was
movie.
Tabe. I called him Sabe for whatever reason. It's Tabe, Taabe. It was the name of the
T
character.
A B E. You know what? I'll say
Taabe.
this about, and this is just a commentary on like all streaming services for a second. Like I like how Amazon Prime does it, where it's like the X-ray thing, where you can see who the characters are right on screen. You know what I mean? Like when you pause it, like oh this is him and this is her.
It tells you who's
Okay,
on
cool.
screen. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, like all streaming services should do that. That would be so incredibly helpful, selfishly for our podcast. Because then I'd be like, oh, I
Of
remember
course.
this scene with Tabe and Naru, or this scene with you know what I mean, fill in Native American name here. You know what I mean? Like that was a cool little
Hmm.
back and forth. Like there was some good stuff in. I'm trying not to curse as much. Good stuff in this movie, where like the banter of one native, one Comanche, and then like all of a sudden it just stops, right? Like because they're in a tree, and they probably shouldn't have been in that tree. You know what I mean? Like
They probably,
that's
yeah.
probably like, oh, hey bro, like
They
I don't
shot.
know if you
They
know this.
probably shouldn't have been so nonchalant.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, bro, you realize where you're at, right? Like, you guys had a whole conversation of where you're at, and then you're like, I'm gonna completely deter my focus on where I'm at to
Hmm.
tell you how terrible you are. Probably not the best
Right.
situation. Under moonlight. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I talked myself into a streaming on that one.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
I did. Yeah, thank you. You did it. You convinced me with your lens. You know what?
With my
I saw
lens.
it through. I saw it through your eye. I
you
saw
saw
it through your lens on that one. Yeah,
you saw it through
I
my
was good
eyes.
on that one. Yeah. What was you know what I liked about it too? Where there wasn't like a lot of movies like this try to like force a humorous moment. You know what I mean? To like lighten up
Not
like
one.
how not one in this one.
No.
Like I'm thinking like there wasn't a moment like where I even smirked. Like the whole time I'm watching I was like, yo, what is what is happening? You know what I mean? Like there wasn't one of those moments where not like a silly Comanche moment where like a person trips, you know what I mean? Just to like try to like none of that. Like this is a serious take on what it's like to be a predator because that's what the Comanches are as well. Like they're predators because they're hunters themselves. Are
They're
trying to like
hunters.
survive and you know, b feed themselves.
Right. No, yeah, I like that. I
Yeah.
mean, and then the other dynamic with Naru and her dog Sadi, right? She's a
Yes.
hunting dog, or he's a
Mm-hmm.
hunting dog, and man, just those little things. There, if there was ever a light moment, it would be with that relationship with her and her dog.
Yes.
But you can see, obviously, dogs have been used for hunting for hundreds of years. Um,
Yep.
so you can see like the domestication of dogs and how they're used for hunting. But there's something that I thought I was going to see in this movie, and I'm glad I didn't see it, which was they didn't give these ridiculous, like when there's a fight
Tropes.
scene. No, but not the
Hmm.
trope, but the fight scene. Like there was no ridiculous, like, oh, that person. It's a predator against a human being, and human beings were
Yeah,
fighting like a human being would fight, not
yeah.
something that's exaggerated. And so I
Huh.
really appreciated that. Like it was a lot more. I mean, to a point, you're fighting a predator, right? But
Yeah.
there wasn't, if there is CGI as far as whatever the Comanche were doing, it was subtle. I thought, there's CGI with the animals and stuff, the bear and
Hmm.
things like that. But
Hmm.
the fight scenes, I thought they seemed like they kept them as realistic as one could
Yeah,
keep a fight scene against a predator or a bear. I mean, sometimes they just had to run away. There wasn't much. It was a fight scene, and it's like, no, I'm gonna just
yeah,
survive to
yeah,
see another day.
yeah. I agree with you on that. Like you're saying, like I want to try to make up a word here, like the comic book and movies, right? Like where somebody like jumps from like one tree, and you know what I
Right.
mean, like that person gets like a superhero moment. Like, no, no, this is a regular
Yeah.
human. Now the predator does that because it's not of this earth, and he's
Right.
a freak of you know what I mean. Like that one that does this. Like I agree with you on that one. Like where it wasn't like was it Tabe, right? Tabe, the brother. Yeah,
Yep.
Tabe like jumping from one tree, and the next one's like 45 feet away, but somehow lands on that tree, and it's like the superhero. Like like yeah, like they were 100% humans. They're fighting with like bows, arrows, and like sticks to their, you know what I mean, like to the best of their ability. Like yeah, like I appreciated that too, where they kept it realistic to the times, and it wasn't like one guy's like uh a superhuman. You know what I mean? I appreciated that. Where like you had to use your like cunning wits and like almost land nav, right? Like your land navigation to know what was going on around you,
Yeah, that's what it
and
was.
as opposed
It
to
was
like
using your
yeah, as
wits.
yeah, because you know you're not gonna outstrength them because like I mean it's impossible. It's impossible. So yeah, I like that too. Yeah, man, it was a really well done movie. Yeah, so stream it. I started that whole thing with that, and then I came back, not
This
full
guy.
circle, because I was making a left turn anyway. You know what I mean? Like I was there, like I just didn't have the light. That's all I'm saying. Like I didn't have the light.
No, stop
I didn't
stop
have the
giving
light.
yourself credit. You,
I mean, why not? Is what
I
I
don't.
do.
You didn't have your contact lenses on. I don't think you know where you were
That's right.
going.
That's right. I took them off, and that was my mistake. I took them off because they had a little tear in it, and then that's where I was torn on stream it or skip it. But yeah,
It had a
so
tear,
yeah,
and that's why you were torn. Really? See, they
exactly.
didn't have
Hey,
ridiculous,
hey,
ridiculous dialogue like that in the movie.
yeah, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. I just made that up. And also the fact I realized I would have been a terrible hunter because I can't see shit. So like I'm screwed. Like even if I tie a string to my, like I'm just, what am I gonna? I guess I'm gonna go pick up some berries. Like I don't want to lift some
Yeah,
logs. Like
me
I
too. I
don't know what
couldn't
I'm
see.
bringing.
Like I had PRK, so I had
Yeah,
PRK and I can see now. But I don't think they had surgery. What are they gonna do with an axe, with a
yeah,
tomahawk? They're gonna slice open my eye and peel back the layers and let it grow back. Nah,
yeah. Nah, it's not
I
gonna happen. We'd be screwed,
guess
bro.
not happening.
We'd be screwed. Like yeah, no. Maybe you could outrun it. You know what I mean? Like you're running. Like I got nothing else. I'm just gonna stand the lane, man. Like first of all, I wouldn't even be killed because I'm not trying to fight it. Hey, bro, you got it. Like I don't know what you want me to do. Like I'll tell the other tribes what happened. I'm a good witness. Like I'll tell people what
Here,
happened.
put
I'm not.
put this put this bear trap on me. See, I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
good.
I'm good.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
just
hurt
put a
you.
scratch on me. Exactly. We're all set here. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, man. So yeah, so Prey on Hulu streaming right now. Came out this year. Gotta love when movies come out that are this year, like, and then immediately go to streaming services. You really get
Yeah.
to enjoy them. JV, you got anything else?
No, man. If you haven't seen it already, stream it. Prey on Hulu.
Prey on Hulu. Enjoy. All right, guys, we're out. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Streamophile. Directed by John. Executive producer Ben and John. Created by Ben and John. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.